During my postgrad program with Full University and MIT ACT academic program, I was able to develop cognitive models, methodologies, model, do research on what the cerebrum is, what the cerebellum is, the associated lobes, the associated areas, the peripheral nervous system, the different type of memories, procedures, semantic, conditional, the development of the brain, the hindbrain, the fourth brain, what the visual perspective system is, photoreceptor, retina, the stimulus, the cones, the different type of theories, how illusion is formed, what are alien networks, what are photoreceptors. It was a fascinating journey. Knowledge is enriches our brain, our development. The more we do intellectual research, the more we're able to develop ourselves in academics, and our IQ increases, our gray matter, our white matter. Science is a fascinating field. Neuroscience, the study of the brain, the complexity, the cells, the dendrites, the axons, everything, the pathways, the ventral, the dorsal systems, the glia cells, the nervous system, to understand all the different type of syndrome, multiple sclerosis, the photons, the molecules, mutation, genetic DNA, all the DNA strand. It's a fascinating field. I'm currently conducting a research that explains the development of the brain. Another research explains how the brain is activated when we view like an image or animation. It's called empty cells. And another research explains the variation, the stimulus of the brain, the variation and the different type of patterns and frequencies. It's always interesting to know how we're able to relate with other people. What are AON network? AON network is a group of neurons that helps us correlate with other people, and subconsciously it increases our IQ or lower IQ depending who we relate to, where we work, what we do. Repetitive task, as I mentioned before, decreases IQ matter. If you don't do academic development with time, it's going to decrease your gray matter, your Y matter, your IQ. It's going to affect your neocortex and associated areas. To be able to develop what is called an explicit memory and implicit memory, you need to correlate academic with mathematics. Try to spend 3 hours doing mathematics. In my case, I develop equations 3 hours during the weekends. Or I'm also correlated to something artistic, like something classical music that develops your spatial perspective and spatial memory. Academia is fun, knowledge is fun. You can't go wrong with science or math. The more you develop your skills, the more you're able to enrich intellectually, you're gonna be able to feel better about yourself. There's an interesting study about quantum physics. Quantum physics, mathematics that mention how positive and negative correlate to each other and how we relate to other people based on mathematical equations. So it shows all the different waves and patterns and how that specific part of the brain is acting when we're relating to other people based on mathematical equations or physics. It's understanding what the positives and negatives are. It's a simple quantum physics module that explains how, based on our IQ and personas, we are attracting other positives or negatives. In simple terms, why lazy people attract lazy people, why intellectually academic people attract intellectually academic people. It's understanding of the positives and negatives and doing the research and understanding what the quantum physics is. I love knowledge. I love academia. It comes from my family. My father was a Nobel laureate nominee in the areas of math and science, and I admire him for that. I love him. He was a great inspiration. He did a lot of research, a lot of reading, developed a lot of methodologies and models, mathematics, and he was a great intellectual inspiration. Academics, research, developing models is the most fascinating things. My last dissertation was understanding how we relate to other people and how we have cells and pathways that activate when we view an animation or image or faces or characteristic or expression. It's extremely fascinating. I'll be doing another postgrad degree and I'll be sharing more on my research. I think although neuroscience is a fascinating field to be with, understanding how the brain operates, the neocortex. I'm doing a reading right now about mitochondria. It talks about mutation, genetic codes, um, and the different DNA strands, the RNA strands. It's 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 good to be able to develop intellectually to be able to help people. Another research that I'm doing is the development of the different type of memories that we call conditional memory, semantic memory, procedure memory, and spatial perspective, object identification, object recognition. It's fascinating. I'll be able to share more of my knowledge and research with you, and hopefully it could help for good. And try to stimulate academia, stimulate intellectual activity in your brain. You'll develop cognitive skills, explicit memory, semantic memory, procedure memory, long term potentiation. But do develop intellectually to increase in gray matter and white matter. Nydia.